Good evening. Welcome to the programme.
Here's a look at tonight's main stories. Legendary Ipswich and England captain Terry Butcher opens up about the battles he had off the pitch after the death of his son.
How bad he was and how did he survive, why did he survive, and all his friends died.
The volunteers working around the clock to protect the nests of one of Britain's rarest seabirds.
Plus, graduates of a legendary naval training college return to rekindle some remarkable memories.
Give it up for Ed Sheeran, everybody.
And the moment Ed rocked up to thrill crowds with an impromptu performance in his hometown.
And I can't sweep you off on your feet.
Hello from Becky and me. Welcome to the programme.
First tonight, on the football pitch, he was known for his strength and playing through pain. But now England and Ipswich legend Terry Butcher is opening up about his struggles with grief.
The former defender's son, Chris, was a soldier who struggled with post-traumatic stress disorder. He died when he was 35.
Now Terry is telling his story in a new ITV documentary, encouraging others to confront their battles with their mental health. Tanya Mercer reports.
It meant everything to Terry Butcher playing for England.
Nasty clash of heads there, Terry Butcher.
He was legendary for his grit and determination. Terry Butcher gained 77 caps for England, 7 as captain. But this documentary tells of the resilience he and his family needed off the pitch to help his son Chris as he battled with PTSD and to grieve after his death.
This is Chris's room. He came in here. That's Chris when he was only a few weeks old in 1982, and I'm wearing the England shirt that I wore in the World Cup in Spain.
Chris served in Iraq and Afghanistan. He experienced huge tragedy and lost comrades and returned a changed man.
So he had a voice in his head from a girl that was in Iraq, and there was obviously an incident that happened, and she was screaming in his head all the time. And it was like how bad he was and how did he survive, why did he survive. He had a lot of mates die. He became a different personality, a different character.
His family are determined to use their experience to help others, to encourage people to open up about mental health.
The documentary is Butcher Invisible Wounds. You know, I've had plenty of wounds, they're very visible, of course, but the invisible ones, you know, you don't know what's going under the surface. And particularly with veterans, you think they're okay and everything's fine, and they will say they're okay. Chris used to say, I'll be all right, I'm all right, but he wasn't.
Terry's journey led him to the local organisation Combat to Coffee, which has become a lifeline for thousands of veterans across the UK.
It's just so much fun meeting the veterans and being in an environment with all the veterans together. And that reminds me so much of when I was a football player. And I was with Peter Reid. He just said he really misses the banter and the crack from, you know, the talk of football professionals being in a dressing room. And veterans feel exactly the same.
The documentary will air next week as the nation comes together around football for the start of the World Cup. But this story is about a deeper conversation and one Terry would rather be remembered for than his football.
I would rather be more remembered for this because it contributes and it's helped people that really need help. I like, you know, football fans would see me and they might like it and they remember me, which is very nice. But that's the platform to get to Combat to Coffee and to the veterans and their families. And I'd rather be remembered more for that than anything else.
A tribute to a son and a story about courage, to speak out about grief, trauma and loss. Tanya Mercer, ITV News, Bordsea.
Such a sad story, isn't it? But hearing someone like Terry talk so openly is going to resonate with a lot of people.
I hope so. And you can watch the full documentary when it's broadcast for the first time next Tuesday night on ITV4. And after that, you can catch up by streaming it on ITVX. In other news, a 65-year-old man has been charged with murder in connection with an incident in Lowestoft nearly 7 years ago. 39-year-old Sarah Crush was found with a serious head injury in a house in Victoria Road in September 2019. It left her needing 24-hour care until she died last September. Her husband, Stephen Crush, has been charged with killing her.
Norfolk Police has apologised after a data breach involving payroll information of officers and staff. The personal details were accidentally sent to a former officer. The force says there's no evidence the data was further shared or misused. They've made changes to make sure it doesn't happen again.
Two 13-year-old boys have been arrested in Suffolk after a fight involving a knife. Police were called to 100 Acre Way in Red Lodge near Newmarket yesterday evening. One boy was taken to hospital with stab wounds to the hand, while another had injuries to the hand and leg. Officers believe that both boys were known to each other.
A new vaccine designed with the help of AI and described as a game changer could provide broad protection against thousands of variants of viruses like Ebola and COVID. The super antigen has been developed in collaboration with the University of Cambridge. Scientists say it could protect against whole families of viruses.
The Police and Crime Commissioner for Norfolk has resigned with immediate effect. Sarah Taylor, who was elected 2 years ago, says she's made the decision because of family circumstances. Taylor was first elected for Labour but quit the party last year after the government announced it would be abolishing PCCs in 2028.
Now next tonight, how seasonal wardens and an army of volunteers are working around the clock to protect the nests of Britain's second rarest seabird.
Little tern numbers have been dwindling since the 1980s. But incredibly, a beach near Great Yarmouth boasts the largest breeding site in the Northern Hemisphere.
Natalie Gray reports on the big effort to shield the little birds from natural predators and the public.
This charming, chattering seabird is Britain's smallest tern. Egg thieves have already found their way here, but the ground nesting birds have many more problems, and that's without the public accidentally trampling on them.
They're vulnerable for crows, they're vulnerable for hobbies and kestrels and peregrine. When they're just egg stage, it'll be foxes, hedgehogs, squirrels, deer could jump the fence, and then so we put a fence up.
Since the 1980s, little terns have declined by 39% in the UK, and they are now our second rarest seabird. Despite their size, little terns migrate up to 3,000 miles each spring from West Africa to our beaches. The odds are so stacked against them, but 24 hours a day, someone will be here to look out for them.
We're encouraging people to walk closer to the tide line so that we give them plenty of space for their breathing. Well, it's brilliant you're doing that. Oh, thank you. Fantastic. Thank you.
It's Volunteers Week, and the RSPB say they couldn't save the little terns without their 80 volunteers.
They're resilient and they really care about the little terns and the ring plovers and the work that they're doing, and we're inherently grateful to them. We could not get our outcomes we could not protect these birds in the way we do without their work and their help and their passion.
There are only small numbers nesting around the UK, so it's very special what's happening here, and so that's why we really want to be sure they are successful and keep an eye on them.
You come down and you see them chattering amongst each other and waving and waggling that little big fish around. It's kind of, it's great to see.
They weigh no more than a tennis ball and are plucky little creatures. And this is such a success story in this secret place. 273 nests last year, 286 so far this year. The miniature marvels clearly like it here. Natalie Gray, ITV News on the Norfolk coast.
Amazing, isn't it, how those little ones blend into their surroundings?
So camouflaged. And aren't we capable of such kindness? Well done, volunteers. And if that's inspired you to do your bit for nature and the planet, next week is Great Big Green Week, where more than 1 million people will come together in their communities. If you go to their website, you can see what's happening, maybe where you are. That's greatbiggreenweek.com.
Right, you're watching ITV News in the Anglia region. Still to come, we have something of a musical theme.
We do. After the nostalgic craze for vinyl, the record shop owners who say now CDs are making a comeback. An
unexpected appearance by Ed Sheeran brings out the crowds on Ipswich's waterfront.
And will it be singing in the rain this weekend, or will we be putting the brollies away? I'll have all the details coming up shortly.
I have a feeling we won't be putting the brollies away, but we will find out. Next from us, former servicemen who attended a legendary Royal Navy training base in Suffolk came together today to mark 50 years since its closure.
From 1905 to 1976, HMS Ganges in Shotley took boys in their mid-teens from all over the country to complete a gruelling programme known for its uncompromising discipline. Verity Wishart has been hearing the memories of some of them.
From boys to men, today a poignant reunion of just some of the 150,000 trainees who entered the gates of HMS Ganges.
So this is my first time back at Shotley since we left in 1967.
And how does it feel to be back?
It's when you smell the organ, when you smell the sea, you think you get flashbacks. We came through them gates as 15-and-a-half-year-old boys. 11 months later, I'm not saying we left as men, but it'd give you a hell of a grounding for the rest of your life.
Vice Admiral Below takes the salute.
Training included seamanship, strenuous exercises and military drills.
I was 5 foot 2 1/4. I weighed 7 stone 2 pound, and we took the cutter onto the river here. I couldn't get my hand around the oars were that big.
Every boy was required to climb the 143-foot mast on the parade ground as part of their training, but not all of them made it to the top.
I got right up to the top before you get up the pole to go to the button. I got up as far as that. That was an achievement.
How did you feel when you were up there?
Oh, I was up there and I was looking round and you could see all over. I thought, hang on, I've got to climb back down now.
Despite HMS Ganges no longer operating, there are still lessons that can be learned.
I mean, dare I say it, a lot of the issues that parents and teenagers are dealing with these days, HMS Ganges was a brilliant solution to that. It took boys who may not have done quite so well at school, maybe hadn't got much of a future ahead of them, and they became, fantastic, not just sailors, but citizens as well.
With the site itself now looking very different, the museum and mast a reminder of the operation.
I mean, there's bound to become a day when there's nobody left that ever served at Ganges, but I think it's quite a long way off yet. But I think the legacy passes on to your family. I try to pass it on to my children and my grandchildren because it's the standard I learned here at Ganges and in the Royal Navy.
Although HMS Ganges may now belong to history, the hope is its spirit can continue to steer future generations. Verity Wishart, ITV News, Shotley in Suffolk.
Wow, you'd have to have a head for heights, wouldn't you? Some sport now, and it's a big weekend for horse racing with the Derby taking place tomorrow. Today was the Fillies Classic at Epsom, the Oaks. Hopes of a Newmarket winner rested with Legacy Link, trained by John and Thady Gosden and ridden by Colin Keane. The 3-year-old was strongly fancied in the field of 9 and strode to the front in the closing stages, but was overtaken by the Irish-trained Thundering On with half a furlong left to finish second. And you'll be able to see the Derby on ITV1 tomorrow afternoon. Coverage of day 2 of the Epsom Festival starts at 1 o'clock.
Moving on to football now. Norfolk's Lauren Hemp faces a tough test tonight with England. The Lionesses can qualify for the World Cup if they avoid defeat against Spain in Mallorca. But the defending world champions will be wanting revenge after North Walsham's Hemp scored the only goal of their last clash in April. Kick-off is at 8 o'clock and you can watch the match live right here on ITV1 or by streaming it on ITVX.
Oh, of course, for England's men, it's almost time for the excitement of the World Cup to begin. Tomorrow night, they play New Zealand, the first of 2 friendlies before their opening game against Croatia. And there could be a familiar face for Braintree, Colchester and Ipswich fans. Defender Tommy Smith is in the Kiwi World Cup squad. It's a later kick-off, 9 p.m. on ITV1.
The ITV Evening News is along at 6:30. Here are the headlines with Charlene.
Astronauts on the International Space Station are told to prepare for potential evacuation. It comes after reports of worsening air leaks. We'll bring you the latest. How Andrew Mountbatten Windsor made money from properties he sublet on the grounds of his former home. And we look back at the life of the trailblazing founder of the Mobo Awards, Kanya King, who's died aged 57. So join us for those stories and more from 6:30.
Now, what is your favourite way to listen to music? For many of us, it's on our phones or a smart speaker.
But far from being obsolete, CDs are apparently growing in popularity again. Experts say there's renewed interest in owning music on discs.
And music shops here in our region say it is a trend that they've noticed. James Webster's been finding out more.
There was a time when going into shops like this one in Norwich was the only way to buy music. And while streaming makes up most listening, sales of CDs are increasing.
I'm getting a far more increased amounts of teenagers and people in their 20s who wanted to physically own the music rather than download it or hear it on social platforms. Because of the fact that not everything is on the internet and the fact that you've got something basically for life if you look after it, and the discovery as well at an affordable price.
Well, we keep all of the samples of the different types of packaging that you can get with CDs.
Since the 1990s, Key Production has been manufacturing CDs. Artists like Kim Wilde will commission not just regular discs, but special editions too.
Oh gosh, yes, there's 5 CDs and 2 DVDs inside here, as well as a really informative and lovely booklet inside. So it's a real collector's edition.
And the company's noticed the rise in demand. Last year, a 15% increase in the number of CDs it pressed. A survey's found that almost half of teenagers listen to physical music, and it's a trend many parents approve of. Only 1 in 5 said they preferred their children listening to music on their smartphones. What is the difference that you've noticed over the last year or so in terms of who is buying the CDs when maybe they weren't before?
There's definitely a much younger demographic buying the CDs, and more CD players are being bought, and you have something physical. I think human beings really love having something physical to hold, something to listen to, something to go away from your digital screens with.
Some of the company's most celebrated items date back to the heyday of CDs 25 years ago.
Good morning, it's Toby here with Hard Dance Breakfast. We're going to kick off the day now with an absolute gem of a tune.
That was the year Toby Anstis began presenting on Heart.
The younger crowd, you know, they're probably not so used to just sitting down, relaxing, and leaving a CD on and listening to the whole album. And the plan is that, you know, they would take you on a journey from track 1 to track 10 or whatever, and you leave it on and you enjoy that trip. And there's no doubt that although this surge in CD demand is being driven by Gen Z and Gen Alpha, it's also tipped a little bit and fueled by us lot that enjoyed CDs the first time round. And we're just enjoying a little bit of nostalgia. And if you can find your old Discman or your old CD player, then your quid's in.
Trends notoriously come and go. It seems the popularity of CDs is the latest to turn full circle. James Webster, ITV News.
Oh, I can really see why it's happening. I've just thrown all of mine away and now they're coming back.
I don't miss them sort of clattering around in the footwell of the car.
No. I bet Suffolk superstar Ed Sheeran is definitely from the age of streaming, although he's probably sold the odd CD too.
Well, after he posted a cryptic message teasing an appearance last night, crowds gathered in Ipswich early this morning hoping for a surprise gig.
Well, Ed did duly arrive to perform 6 songs to hundreds of fans at the town's waterfront, as Ravina Gatura reports.
We love Ed Sheeran!
On the Ipswich waterfront, a wave of excitement. Hundreds excited to see their hometown hero.
I saw, obviously, Ed post the post last night and I was like, I've got to go. I'm a singer-songwriter myself, so, yeah, had to be here.
It's a cultural experience, it will be memory-making.
Do you think your friends are going to be really jealous? No!
What do you think they're going to say when you tell them? Oh my gosh, I wish I did it.
And after waiting hours, Ed finally made his entrance.
Give it up for Ed Sheeran, everybody.
Everyone keen to get a glimpse of this surprise set from their Suffolk superstar. The singer performed some of his biggest hits. Alongside him for some, Leanne Kay from Essex, who flew back from Spain last night to be there.
I've had like 2 hours sleep and then I'm going back tonight. So to finish off the holiday, but so worth it. It's just a pleasure. And, you know, he's local. It was really special, something I'm never going to forget.
I got back from like 9 months in America and I'm so happy to be back in Suffolk.
And he's certainly making the most of being back on Suffolk soil. Here he is pictured at his local Indian restaurant in Framlingham earlier this week. A curry and now a concert.
I love it when you do it like that. When you're closer, give me the shivers.
And for 9-year-old superfan Felix, a special gift to take home after meeting the man himself.
Ed Sheeran walked up to me and gave me his hand. I was just hoping for a signed guitar, but this is better.
And for Felix and everyone here, a perfect morning on the marina. And for this global superstar, back busking in the place he'll always call home. Ravina Gatora, ITV News.
I just love that he does that sort of thing. It's so cool. And my goodness, that music teacher, Leanne, wow, what a voice.
I'm just excited. I wasn't even there. It's just smiling the whole way through.
And the most important thing, Ash, he picked a good day for it.
Ed, you picked a great day for the weather. You did. It was good when you must have watched the forecast. But yeah, it was a quieter day today. There was still some cloud around. It has been a beautiful week for clouds, rainbows as well, although not everybody has enjoyed the rainfall, but I think the gardens very much needed it. But as we head into the weekend, I wanted to point out something. So there is more rain on the way, but tomorrow is a little bit unseasonably windy. So it's a day for your rain jacket, but not for the brolly. You know, it's one of those days of
those awkward days when you don't quite know what to do. You
get wet. Yeah, but it's not cold in any way. And then there's something dry in the forecast on Sunday. But actually, as we head into next week, return of some changeable weather. Here's the jet stream here. Here's the UK here. Just drives across the Atlantic, so we are going to continue to see further rainfall and showers, which we still very much need. Not particularly cold all around average, but I still think we're all still recovering from the heat over the last few weeks. But lots of details to get through in the forecast. Here you go.
Greater Anglia sponsors ITV Anglia Weather.
Well, it's certainly been a much quieter day of weather. There were 1 or 2 showers around this morning, but for the most part, it's been dry today. But it is turning wet again tomorrow. Outbreaks of rain on the way. It's quite windy as well. That clears away, and then it's a dry day on Sunday. It's going to be a little bit warm as well. Bright and sunny spells, but a little bit breezy, and then changeable into next week. So we are expecting another week where we see some showers. The jet stream remains very close to the UK. But this is what's impacting the weather into the weekend. This low pressure centre here, it'll push out into the North Sea as we head through Saturday evening, and then a little brief ridge of high pressure across us through Sunday. But you can see right behind another weather front waiting to spread in. So let's take a look at the forecast as we head through this evening and overnight. The possibility of an isolated shower or two. Now by tomorrow morning, it's quite mild, but there's much more in the way of cloud around, and the breeze will pick up as well. Temperatures dropping back to around 12 degrees Celsius. So mild for all of us first thing to start off the weekend. But it's cloudy, it's damp, outbreaks of rain throughout the morning. The heaviest of that rain clears away into the afternoon, and then it's a case of sunshine and some heavy blustery showers around. Temperature-wise, highs of around 19 degrees Celsius, so close to average for the time of year. Now here are your times of high water. Let's have a look at Yarmouth, 1:10 in the morning, and then again at 10 to 1 tomorrow afternoon. But let's quickly look at Sunday. A dry day for most of us. It's quite breezy. You'll notice the cloud just coming and going. Most of the showers just remaining north of the Wash. Temperature-wise, though, it is a warmer day with highs of 21 degrees Celsius. And then it's all change again into next week, where we have plenty of showers in the forecast. Coming up next, it's the pollen forecast.
Greater Anglia sponsors ITV Anglia Weather.
Making the most of summer. Piri sponsors ITV Pollen Count.
Well, the main source of pollen at the moment is grass pollen. Now, the pollen count is going to be low through tomorrow. There's quite a lot of rainfall around. It'll bounce up to high on Sunday with more in the way of sunshine. Low on Monday again with some showers and then high thereafter.
So, Ash, if you were thinking of sticking your washing out tomorrow, it might end up in next door's garden, but Sunday a bit better for drying.
Rearrange the picnic and the washing for Sunday, yes.
Thanks for the advice. And thank you for watching this week. We'll see you on Monday.
Bye-bye.